I'd like to call the BESE Policy Forum meeting to order. This is a new format that is a component of the reorganization of our BESE committees. For those of you who joined us yesterday, BESE completed all of their committee work. Our committees have been, our former 8 committees were folded into 4. We still addressed all the issues within those 4 committees, but it represents an alignment with the delivery units and the work being done at the Department of Education. I'm personally, and I believe board members are very pleased that this allows us to have the time to devote to specific policy topics. We're going to be devoting 3 hours this morning and to 2 areas that are very important to the board. The members are here that are presenting and then participating with us. This is very important for the board members to hear what you're doing, what successes and what challenges that you are experiencing, and we sincerely believe that, one, we want to be part of that experience, and we sincerely believe that we will learn from you this morning, and we are hopeful that it will help drive for this board policy that will assist you in accomplishing your goals of improving student achievement.
BESE is hearing about a couple of major issues. One is the challenge of getting schools that are on the state's watch list to improve so that they can get off the watch list. And the second is a discussion that we'll have on early childhood education. And the purpose is the board, once they hear this information, can better understand what kind of policies and rules to set at the state level so we can encourage academic achievement and success for kids.
The morning is devoted to a policy discussion where the board identifies topics that they want to delve a little deeper into, to listen to experts, to listen to our districts, find out what their challenges are, that will hopefully help drive better policy and more informed policy decisions.
What we're doing at the State Department of Education is working with local school districts on how to turn around some of their chronically low achieving schools. These are schools where we have very high concentrations of children who are not able to meet grade level. So the state has some strategies that are national blue chip strategies on how to do this work, and we've been meeting with districts like Ascension, Baker, and Madison to share those ideas so that they can look at them, examine what might work for them, and then make changes based on that.
We heard from 3 districts, Madison, Baker, and Ascension Parish. They all are at different points in their efforts to enact school turnaround. The message from us was that the Department of Education is here to assist them in their efforts for turnaround, and the board also is here to help remove barriers and obstacles to those districts as they strive to improve their schools.
What common threads have you seen in schools that have been successfully turned around from low performing to high achieving?
Well, you know, you start with having the best leader in the building that you can possibly have, and making sure you have the right leader. And you make sure that that leader understands how to do data-driven instruction, which means you look at the progress of children very frequently, and when you see they're not making the progress, you change your teaching so that students will ultimately make progress. And when you have this combination of very strong leader and a strategy like data-driven instruction, then teachers can be more successful and students can be more successful.
Our major reform effort has been the Teacher Advancement Program. We've implemented that in all of our watch list schools, and we are very committed to that model because it combines strong job-embedded professional development with strong accountability for teachers and students in schools, and it really then also has a pay-for-performance component. So that is our model that we're using. Having done that, we're trying to aggressively expand that model into some of our other lower performing schools that are not necessarily on the watch list. But as we try to do that, we're exploring the possibility of creating some kind of turnaround office so we could provide additional support to schools as they implement TAP, so that we could kind of just restructure some of our support to our schools so that they have a more seamless opportunity for their implementation with support from the central office.
What we have done is to restructure our schools. We will have 2 pre-K through 5 schools. In those schools, we are focusing on technology to help us, integrating technology into the content area. Literacy is a very important part of that. We're using the Singapore Math program, and that's in collaboration with LSU especially, and then we have 2 graduate students who are PhD students in mathematics from LSU and from Southern University who will work with us. The other thing is that we have implemented a magnet school that would be 1 through 5. And of course, we hope that that magnet school will bring those students back to Baker that we've lost. And the STEM school, the middle school is basically going to be a STEM school where we will emphasize the STEM programs. And we have already gotten on the task of putting in a pre-engineering program.
What common themes did you see? What is happening in the schools that are successful in turning around low performance, and what can be done maybe to implement that on a statewide basis?
The willingness to make difficult decisions, to identify what works in a school, where your effective leaders are, where your effective teachers are, to provide the development to those people, to counsel them, to perhaps put them in different places, or if they're not, if they're not effective teachers, then to counsel them out of the profession. I mean, those very, very difficult decisions have to be made when you have persistently low-performing schools that are required to improve. And what's driving this is that we are raising the bar on academically unacceptable schools. It's going from 60 to 65 this year. Next year, it will be 75. So these districts, we have identified watch list schools, and the districts that those schools are in. And what we're trying to do is work with them early and work with them hard to make sure that they stay out of AUS status.
I'm really encouraged. Sometimes people think about the Department of Education as just making rules that people have to live by and make their lives miserable. But what we heard today is that districts out there really feel like the Department of Education and the Recovery School District are adding value to their local communities and adding a capacity that they did not previously have. And they believe it'll help them turn around these chronically low-achieving schools on the watch list. So that's very encouraging.
Look at the strategies that are working in other high-poverty, high-performing schools. Look at what we know is effective from the Department of Education. Come to us. We are a resource. Let us help you implement these strategies with fidelity. And if we need to help explain to your boards and your communities why these difficult decisions need to be made. Frankly, we know. I mean, it's about the school leader and it's about the classroom teacher. And in true transformation of failing schools, changes have to be made, and those are difficult decisions. So you need courage, and you need the determination that you're going to do what's right for children, even if it means having to do something that's less than pleasant with adults.